employee self-service has been an absolute game changer, and it's been around for a while. But for many companies, they've never implemented employee self-service, and it's really changed, especially in the logistics industry, because so many of your employees are on the road, or they at various sites across the country. So employees have been able to access employee self-service applications to be able to get payslips. And that's also one thing that's a common request is, I lost my payslip. Now I need to go to the payroll office and I need to get a payslip from the payroll office. I have to stand in a queue, or I have to wait days because I'm based in Cape Town and our office is in Gauteng, in Johannesburg. And now to get that information to me isn't a timeous thing. With employee self-service, you have instant access to your payslip, and not just your current payslip, but your historical payslips as well. So that you can go to the bank and say, yeah, I can email this to you straight from my employee self-service application so that I can get a loan to buy a car or a house. I have that. I don't have to wait on payroll to give me, because from my experience, when we used to do manual payslips for hundreds of companies. One of the things that always came up was that employees have lost their payslips and they need to make a loan, and they were requested for 6 months payslips. So we have to reprint 6 months worth of payslips for a particular employee, which is additional cost to the company. Some companies have passed on the cost to the employee, but for many companies, and most companies actually out there, they never do that. So those were additional costs to the company by having employees request pay slips so that they could get loans, or buy a house, etc. So from that perspective, it's been an absolute game changer. Getting the RP5s in the application as well, applying for leave, and that's something that a lot of people don't understand how valuable that actually is, because when someone applies for leave, they assume that it's been approved when it's a physical payslip. I give it to my supervisor. Here's a physical payslip, a leave form that I filled in. That leave form potentially, let's say, gets approved by the manager, but that still needs to be sent to head office to make certain that it is captured on that system. So the manager goes, don't worry, I'm going to get that done by the end of the week. Week comes, what's this junk on my desk? I'm going to clear my desk, tosses it in the bin. I go on leave thinking that it's been approved. Head office has no idea that I am on leave. Where is Ancel? Wants to institute disciplinary procedures because I've gone AWOL. So it is far more than just a nice to have these days, is that you can apply for leave on your employee self-service application or mobile app. The manager can approve it. If the manager does not approve it within a certain time, the system has escalations built into it, that it can say that after 3 days, that if the manager hasn't approved it, it will go to the next person within the workflow to approve that leave, and the manager will then be informed. It also has, horizontal escalations, because managers also take leave at times. So a manager can appoint somebody on his or her behalf to approve the leave, so that it doesn't just stagnate, or just skip a particular person that does not and the next person approver doesn't really know this particular employee. So you have that flexibility as well. So it's become a little bit more than just but we don't really need employee self-service or manager self-service. Actually, for most organization, you potentially are losing money, because let's say you have a shutdown in December, right? At the shutdown in December, you have to pay the employees the leave out that they're taking. So they're taking 3 weeks leave, you're paying them out for 3 weeks. right? Now, if employees have taken leave during the year, which means that the payout come December should be less. But if it hasn't got into the system, that means that you are literally paying your employees for leave they've already taken. And it ends up being tens, thousands, hundreds of thousands that companies are paying out more. And also in an industry with high staff turnaround, when somebody is terminated, you also have to pay out the leave that they've accumulated upon termination. And if that is incorrect, you are inevitably paying far more for that. So, again, these systems tend to pay for themselves at the end of the day. And a lot of times it's hard to quantify upfront because, out of sight is out of mind. And really, for anyone out there who is thinking about whether or not we should have an employee self service application, absolutely. You definitely need it.